Well, on Twitter, there was a thread that was left by a particular sister by the name of Kristen Gray. Now, this sister and her girlfriend decided to move to Bali, and they got themselves set up in Bali. They started having a good life over there. They ended up writing an ebook and selling it for $30. And they wrote a thread. We're gonna go through this thread, and the reaction to this is quite interesting. And we're gonna kind of talk about this. So on the first tweet here, it says, moving out of America in my 20s has been a game changer. I've been living in Bali, Indonesia for over a year with my girlfriend. See a thread. It said, we initially moved abroad for 6 months, staying in Bali to stack some bread and elevate our lifestyle. She continues to say, I was broke, struggling to find work. The entire year of 2019, I wanted to take a stab at entrepreneurship. It say I also wanted to get out of the survival mode and tap into how I could thrive. After getting rejected for jobs and living off my savings trying to make my business pop, my girlfriend and I decided to book a one-way flights to Bali, Indonesia. And they continue to say, when I think about it, they said it's super clear that the move was intuitive. He said Bali is where I was supposed to be through it all. It said there was an energy about the states that I had to take a break from. It said Bali was the perfect medicine. It said in March, when the pandemic hit and our 6-month plan went out the window, we decided to stay in Bali to wait it out, and we've been here ever since. So it said some major benefits moving to Bali: safety, low cost living, luxury lifestyle, queer friendly, Black in Bali community. Now, the next one says, the island has been amazing because of our elevated lifestyle at a much lower cost of living. I was paying $1,300 for my LA studio. Now I have a tree house for $400. December 9th, 2019 on the left. It said in January 2021 on the right. Now these tweets were deleted, so we had to get the screenshots. She said, being a digital nomad is everything. He said, I was able to successfully transition my graphic design business on the road. I work 100% for myself. In the beginning, it was a challenge. He said, but I've grown so much as an entrepreneur. Now, shout out to her for being an entrepreneur. I support that. If you can work for yourself and you can take your computer anywhere in the world, more power to you. That's why I make sure to have a good computer. So anywhere in the world I can go, I can get content out. I can do a podcast. I can do whatever. But when they put this out, it became a problem. And the problem was with Indonesians. Now, I'm going to go through, some of this stuff for me. I'm going to say what I feel it is. And we're going to play some videos as well about some of this. So they start getting upset that they read that thread. Oh, they got real upset. So let me give you an example here. We'll give you more examples. As we can put this one up, you say you can get a low cost living and luxury lifestyle in Bali. You say whatever. It say, and since American are talking about their minimum wages, Bali's minimum wage is around, I guess, 2.4 million, I guess, in their money. You say, or around $177 a month. They said, and about $1.11 an hour. And yes, for us, you're privileged because you hold a U.S. passport. So shut the F up. He said, meanwhile, we locals are struggling even to buy foods. So, yeah, I'll give you my middle fingers for promoting a way for foreigners to move to live a luxury life and work in Bali, and say, with your tourist visa without paying any taxes to our government. End of discussion. Now, to me, that's hating, man. Like, it's going to be a lot of hating, because I got a video to show y'all about the hating. I mean, haters are everywhere. So it's their fault why the way you live? Shouldn't you be telling your government something about that? About the way you're living? I'm just saying, like, why are you blaming them? So they start getting like Tekashi 6ix9ine after that. They start saying, oh, you living in the country. You're not paying taxes over here. They were just going in, boy. They was going in for real on them about claiming that they're not paying taxes, right? So they posted another one here. She said, Kristen says, we include direct links to our visa agents because they're claiming they didn't have a visa and how to go about getting into Indonesia during COVID. So it's also for anyone wanting to make a change of pace. Now, I guess her other girlfriend up here said, why would I have to pay taxes if I never made, I guess, IRD? I mean, we say I pay American taxes for making USD, because basically what it's saying is I'm not even working in the country. I'm just connected to the internet and my money comes from the States. I don't make no money here. So why should I pay taxes here? Like, what are you talking about? Right? So I want you to watch the clip. They were complaining on them so much, so much, right? That, do you know they got deported? They actually got deported. Okay. Yes, they got deported. But let me play a clip of them just straight hating. It's hating. I don't care what y'all say. Any Indonesians watching this, yeah, the ones that was talking like this, you was hating for real. But let me play that clip of the hater.
Sorry, pardon my language, but I don't think she deserves any more respect from us after what she did to our country. Bitch, it was never really about your skin color. Never. We don't care whether you are blue, gray, red, purple. We don't give a shit. It's about you. It's about what you did. You disrespect us. You disrespect Bali. You disrespect Indonesia. And you are inviting people to do the same. Oh my God. How could you do that? I'm sorry if in your country you were mistreated just because of your skin color. But here in Indonesia, no. We treat people equally as long as you respect us. If you do not respect us, we are not going to hesitate to kick your ass. Here in Bali, we are very welcome to everyone who wants to visit us. Okay? But you have to know your boundaries. You are a guest, so act like one. This is not your home. Alright? And also I'm going to tell this for once and all. For those who wants to come to Bali, make sure you are not broke. Okay? I'm gonna tell you one more time. Make sure you are not broke. If you are broke, do not travel. Save your broke ass at home.
Correction, there's two women and the other one said that they don't pay Indonesian taxes because they make US dollars instead of Indonesian rupiahs. She's getting US income and paying for Bali's living costs, which is kinda okay if you're doing it by yourself. What could happen if people do what she's promoting is that there's gonna be a bunch of foreigners with hella money living in Bali. Prices will go up to adjust to their income. Locals can compete with that. Foreigners will live like rich kings and queens and locals will be their servant. Doesn't that sound familiar? Part 2 is where it gets messy.
Hi guys, I hope you guys know about the Twitter thread that's going around. You know about the girl that's been here for a year when her visa only lasts for 6 months. Someone who's literally committing tax fraud. Literally trying to colonize us. I don't know about you, but I'm getting really sick and tired about Americans' bullshit. Does it not sink in their brain that they're gonna be the only ones in an advantage? Hear me out. If they decide to colonize us 2.0 here, and that means they make more income because they're doing this illegally, and by doing this it makes their outcome cheaper, that means Bali has to adjust with the more dominant income, which means the foreigners will get more of an advantage because they make more money than the actual people in Bali. It's bad for the economy! Terrible! Are you kidding? As if... Is it not enough for you? You guys ruined so many shit. Is it not enough? We're white too, apparently. Just without the privilege, so it doesn't make it any better.
That was straight hating, okay? And it's quite interesting the language they were using. You're a foreigner, and you come in here, and this is not your home. But y'all come to my country, and you come to their country. And you come in here and you make demands about what you want, what this country should do for you. You demand that you want a green card. You demand that you should have this temporary status. All these different people coming here with their demands. But the moment somebody, just at least two sisters, go over there and doing good for themselves, now we got to hear about all the problems in your country. They're not no government officials. They're going to gentrify. Two women, they're going to gentrify it? All these white folks, they're going to your country constantly from Europe, from everywhere. Like, why? They the one that do the gentrifying. They got the ability to do it. Why are you not saying nothing to them when they go over there? But let's play the clip of them. Now, this is the part where I'm going to get very, very disappointed. But I'm going to talk about it actually from both sides. Let's play the clip where they speaking at a press conference and they're going to tell you the reason why they're getting deported. Let's roll that clip.
Kepada Christian sama Sandra. So the first chance I give to Christian to give statement.
Hi everyone. First off, I am not guilty. I have not overstayed my visa. I have not made money in Indonesian rupiah in Indonesia. I put out a statement about LGBT and I'm being deported because of LGBT.
But
Okay.
what is your proposal?
Itu cukup. Baik. Cukup ya, itu ya, udah dikasih statement tadi ya.
Now that clip was very disappointing to me when I heard that clip. Now earlier y'all said that Indonesia is queer friendly. So why are they deporting you for saying something about LGBT? That's not the reason why they're deporting you. They can care less about that. Be honest with you. I know that much. The fact is, y'all made a mistake too. Well, I'm going to talk about that. You can't go to countries and do what you do in America. Like, I know a lot of black folks like to really just tell everything they're doing. And when they get and I know when they was telling it, because I know us, I know it wasn't malicious in how they was doing it. I mean, they was kind of say, hey man, I'm living great out here. Man, y'all need to come on and come out here. I mean, because shoot, look, I'm paying this much. I'm not paying all the expensive prices. I mean, I know it was more so said in the right place. But pay attention to them other folks who go in their countries to steal their resources, do all kind of evil. Do they go on social media saying, hey, I'm staying over here and I'm paying this much? No, they stay quiet. They say nothing at all. And if they do say something, it's not going to be public. Let's say if they had like a black people or black Americans in Indonesia Facebook group or whatever kind of group you set up, right? You talk about all that in that group. You don't talk about that publicly. You don't say anything publicly about what you got going on. You don't discuss how much money you're making. You don't discuss how great your business is doing. You don't do none of that, because one thing I learned a long time ago is you never talk about your blessings too much, because you can create enemies that you'd have never had. Now, if those young ladies would have created a group and discussed that same thing in that group, they'd still be in Indonesia right now. It'd have been no issue, no problem. Another thing that I feel that maybe they made some mistakes on going into a foreign country, you got to build relationships with the people. And when you build relationships with the people there, they'll put you on game like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. Don't say that on social media. Don't do this, because they know their country, right? When you have a business in another country, put the people on where you at. That way, if something like this would ever came up, then you have the people to vouch for you and say, nah, man, they hired me. I mean, shoot, they hired 4 or 5 people. You know, they pay real good. They do X, Y, and Z, right? So people can vouch for you in these foreign countries. But you don't go over to a foreign country, like, especially if a country is considered third world, and stunting too hard like that, because you can make yourself a target at the same time. It's just like you could be in the hood and you stunting too hard, or you can become a target because people hungry. People hungry there too. And you stunting too hard online. And I saw the place they were living look very nice. Make you a target. You don't want to be a target. Understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's not those sisters' fault while they can afford to do that. And because some of you can't, then you need to talk to your government about why the jobs isn't there. You can't get mad at black folks for doing that, or whoever else is doing that. I think that's utterly despicable. We don't do that to y'all. Y'all Indonesians come in this country. We don't go off on you, talking about you coming into this country and you doing this and you. No, we don't. America welcomes everybody. They really do. We do not act like that. And the moment Americans start acting like that and having the attitude that, wait a minute, we need to protect our country. And if Americans get more nationalistic, about things. Oh, y'all wrong. Y'all hate immigrants. Y'all being racist toward immigrants. I mean, what's wrong with that? People need help. Okay. Well, those sisters went over to Indonesia. You know, why y'all being ugly to them? Now, my problem with them was saying, well, they deported me because of LGBT. That ain't not the reason. Part of it because you're black. Let's just call it what it is. Do you know how the Indonesian government treat the people in West Papua? In other words, the black people. Do you know how many people they kill in West Papua? Like, why do y'all need to start researching everywhere you're going? And at first I was questioning, why don't you go to Indonesia and you pass up the whole continent of Africa? Then I saw what your relationship was. Okay, because in a lot of African countries, that's just not going to be tolerated. I think South Africa, and those of you correct me, I think y'all allow that to a point, but certain African countries that won't be allowed whatsoever. So, but I think in certain parts of South Africa that's allowed, from what I kind of heard. But I'm thinking that's to be true. But like I said, the brothers and sisters from South Africa could be watching this video. Let me know in the comments if that is allowed. But for a lot of countries, you know, that's just really not allowed like that. So I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why they went over there. But they have certain places in the Caribbean that's allowed too. You could have went to the Caribbean. It wouldn't have had no issues and problems. And you still have some proximity to get back to the U.S. if you needed to. But what I'm saying is, when you go in other countries, brothers and sisters, know the laws, network with people, make relationships, and just follow the laws. Because listen, when you're in other countries, you following their law at that point. And they're lucky that they deported them, because they could have just jailed them and made examples out of them. You can't overstay your visas or whatever. And if you think you will overstay your visa, well, do what you got to do to renew it. Okay. Don't be in people's country. You don't have the right paperwork, especially if you're going to be stunting online, because I mean, to them, you're stunting on them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to us, like, okay, that's kind of like you living good. It's regular living to us to a point. But to them, it's like, you coming in here, you living better than me. I don't even think that's fair. Why is it that you get to live better than me? You just coming in the doorway. And look what the other person has said about the passport. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, they were just, I mean, to me, it's hating, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, you got to watch how you move in certain countries, folks. That's the only thing I'm saying. There are people that go visit Bali all the time and they haven't had no issues or problems. I know that. But some things you just don't need to be posting on social media. Like me, I'm not going to post nothing I got going on business-wise. I'm not going to be posting, oh, look, guys, I'm staying here. Unless I'm particularly showing you about maybe a hotel or something like that for your information. But anything that I got going on personally, I ain't letting you know crap. Because what? So you try to ruin that? No. Black folks, you got to learn how to keep your mouth shut sometime. Don't tell everything to everybody. If you're going to tell it in a controlled environment that the public can't get involved with it. Like, that's what them folks do. They have think tanks, secret rooms, secret meetings, and all of that. That's what we need to do as black people. They should have been discussing that in the African American travel group or whatever they got on Facebook. I think I'm a part of that. Discuss it there. You don't have no problems in that group, but you know, not on Twitter, and that's why it causes. So maybe next country they go to, they'll learn their lesson. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation with these sisters and what they went through. Like I say, it was a lot of hating. It was a lot of hating. I mean, the hating was for real hating. Trust me, I'm not missing anything on the hating they was doing to these sisters. But my thing is, we just got to move a certain way in other countries. Like I said, move in silence. That's the only thing I'm saying. Move in silence. Them folks move in silence, steal their resources. They out there doing the most horrible sexual acts in these countries, but they don't report it and they don't say nothing on Twitter about anything. Just make sure to understand that.